Today on Top 3 Tuesday, we are going to be showing you what we do in the office when people have pain with bending forward. Hi everyone, it's Dr. Brandon, Dr. Andy here with Twin Cities Movement, and today we are going to be continuing our series here of showing you more of what we are doing in the office when people come in with things like back pain. So specifically, this is going to be pain with people bending forward or spinal flexion pain and how we go about treating it. So if you think back to the last few weeks, we've talked about resetting tissue, reinforcing our movement patterns, and then reloading the movement patterns. And we're going to go kind of through that again. We always start with our assessment, and today we're going to be talking about our flexion. It's our multi-segmental flexion assessment. Really, it's bending forward and touching your toes with straight knees. But we get a lot of information out of that. And so we are going to start there with Dr. Andy here. So he's going to stand up. And this is always, this is one small piece of our much larger assessment. But we have everybody start with their feet together, and then we bend forward, and we try to touch our toes. And what we look for are straight knees, posterior weight shift, and a nice, even spinal curve. And you can see Dr. Andy is just, a little bit flat, but he's really pretty good. And he's got a little bit of a knee bend, but overall he does really well. Any pain, discomfort with that?
No, tightness in the hamstrings.
Sure, and that's pretty standard, but we're looking for pain. Where we go from there is we have to differentiate between hip flexion and spine flexion because they're two separate things, and they can be both pain causers. So we're going to mostly look at the spine today, and how we're going to differentiate that is have Andy sit down, and then we're going to have him try to bend forward and touch the toes. So he can do that, and what we expect to see again is that nice uniform spine curve, but we're going to pretend that he couldn't do that because we need to move on further, and it's painful, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So then we're going to have him lay on his back, and we're going to go all the way through here, and what we want to do is just a straight leg raise. So now his spine shouldn't be flexing really at all, and we want to know if this is painful. If all of a sudden his pain is gone,
that was not very painful.
Right. We can deduce, for the most part, there's some more tests we go into, but for the most part, that it's in his spine and not in his hip. And especially if he has full hip range of motion, without moving his low back, we can fairly deduce that it's not in his hips. So from there, what we are going to do is our resets, which is going to be our soft tissue work. We might manipulate his low back with the standard chiropractic adjustment, do some soft tissue work with ART or our instruments that we use, and then we would maybe potentially reinforce it with some tape. Try to get the movement pattern back by, taping the pattern and giving him a little bit of help getting through it. And finally, at the end, we're going to try to regroove that movement pattern or reload it with a little bit of help. And we always start with our developmental sequence with on our back or on our stomach. Today, we're going to start on our back. And we do that just like this. And so we are going to practice curling up with the spine. So this is the assisted curl up, and I need to just move just a little bit more, but we give a little bit of assistance, and Dr. Andy, is going to work on curling his spine one segment at a time all the way up. And we just help him get up there. And we would go through this several times, all the way through, and then same thing on the way back. He's going to try to control it. And once he gets really good, we're going to try to do this without the assistance. Good. Or with less and less assistance as he goes. Good. And then we're going to move up that developmental sequence into a hands and knees position, or quadruped, or suspended, however you would like to say it. And we're going to start doing the same thing, as we want to practice in this little, it's a little bit less safe position, flexing and extending in the lumbar spine. And we want to target here if we can. So this is our lumbar spine, our low backs. We're going to try to round it, and we're going to try to extend it. Good. We're going to go through that a few times. Good. And then from there, we move on to our half kneeling position, or our tall kneeling, but we're going to do half kneeling today. And we are just going to do an oblique curl with our low back. So we're going to start hands up. We're just going to tuck and curl. We're just trying to round our low backs in almost a standing posture. So we're almost back up to standing. Gravity's really working against us here. trying to get our low back to flex as much as we can in this position. Very good. So that's sort of the progression we would go through. You'd probably take one of these or two of these home as home exercises with low back pain. So if you happen to know anybody that's having low back pain, they happen to be local, we'd love to try to help them out with it. If you would like more information or more videos like these, we'd love to also take your email from you on our website. Just put you onto our mailing list, and you'd get all of our videos and the updates of things that are going on in the clinic. Also, if you'd like to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all of the socials, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.